How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Classical Greg. So today, I want to talk to you about one of Gustav Mahler's first masterpieces, his Songs of a Wayfarer, written around 1884. Now, Gustav Mahler had an absolutely fascinating career despite his short lifespan. He was born in 1860 in Bohemia and died in 1911. What makes Mahler so interesting and appealing is that he was somehow able to create a life for himself straight out of the romantic German novels that he adored as a child. A life in which he would overcome tremendous hardship and effect massive change all across the classical music world. And along the way, through his letters and his music, a romanticized autobiography begins to emerge, starring himself as the unappreciated hero, the paragon of ethics, and the scorned lover. The contrasts between this idealized Mahler and the real man have fueled thousand-page biographies, endless debates between musicologists, and even armchair psychoanalyses between people trying to figure out who the real man really was. I mean, who can blame them? He even had a sit-down with Sigmund Freud, for crying out loud. Diagnosis? Mommy issues. Freudian analyses aside, what's undeniable is that Mahler left us with a musical legacy that speaks to the inner traumas, the secret pleasures, and frustrations that sometimes can't be categorized into good versus evil, or sweetness versus bitterness. Reading the letters of the young Gustav Mahler is a fairly shocking experience. It's as though he was intent on chronicling his own life in a way that allowed him to role-play the romantic storylines of Jean-Paul and Goethe, two of his literary heroes. Let's take a look at this letter that he wrote when he was just 18 years old to a friend. The fires of a supreme zest for living and the most annoying desire for death alternate in my heart, sometimes in the course of a single hour. I know only one thing. I cannot go on like this. I tear violently at the links that bind me to the stale, disgusting swamps of my existence, and with the energy of despair I cling to sorrow as my only consolation. Then the sun smiles at me again, and gone is the ice in my heart. I see the blue skies and swaying flowers, and my contemptuous sneer dissolves in tears of love. And again I have to love this world, with its trumpery, its lightheadedness, its eternal laughter. Oh, I would like to see this world all naked, unadorned, just as it lay before its creator. Hope you're enjoying the video so far. This is a reminder that Classical Greg is sponsored by viewers like you. So to help out the channel, you can go to the description and I have a link to my Patreon account. And this is a really simple and easy way to support me. And as a result, you get all these amazing perks and the warm, fuzzy feeling that you're helping out the channel. And if you don't want to donate, then you can really help out by smashing the like button. Also, subscribing to the channel by hitting the button here. And that's all. Thank you, and back to the video. It's some pretty wild stuff, so you can only imagine what happened when he started to develop some romantic attractions. In typical Mahler fashion, he romanticized his early crushes in the most grandiose of ways, sending fairly disturbing and even purportedly suicidal letters to his first heartbreak, Josephine Poitel, who, at the time, he was supposed to be teaching piano lessons to. But this wouldn't be the last time that Mahler became infatuated with a fellow musician. Just a few years later, Mahler was working at his first big conducting gig in Kassel, and there he met and fell in love with the soprano Johanna Richter. Luckily, this time around, Mahler chose the medium of music to preserve the memory of this short-lived romance instead of angsty letters. Although he couldn't help himself, he had to write the text of the songs himself. While Mahler was initially deeply in love with Johanna, the romance seemed to have fallen a bit short of heavenly love and landed somewhere in the friends with benefits territory. But, you know, it happens. We've all been there. The composition would eventually be compressed into 4 songs titled Songs of a Wayfarer. I'm going to sing the second song from this collection titled Ging heut Morgen übers Feld, or I Went This Morning Across the Field. And it's a fairly simple and disarming title, but there's some deep stuff in it, so I hope you enjoy.
Morgen übers Feld, thou noch auf den Gräsern hing, sprach du mir der lustige Flink, bei du Geld. Guten Morgen, ei Geld, wird sich eine schöne Welt, schöne Welt. Zink, zink, schön und flink, wie mir doch die Welt gefällt. Auch die Glockenblum am Feld hat mir lustig gute Ding, mit den Glückchen kling. Ihren Morgenguss geschellt, will's nicht eine schöne Welt, schöne Welt. Kling, 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 schönes Ding, wie mir doch die Welt gefällt, ah ja. Unter Fink im Sonnenschein trägt die Welt zu funkeln ein. Alles Ton und Farbe gewandt im Sonnenschein, Blumen und Vogel groß und klein. Guten Tag, ist's nicht eine schöne Welt? Ei du Geld, schöne Welt. Nun fängt auf